What's going on, hustlers? Back at you guys with another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Tave. I am a commercial multi-engine pilot. Your boy just passed his check ride yesterday, and I'm a federal government contractor and an endurance runner. I've done over 130 contracts, and I've been an account manager for 2 companies, and I've done over $3 million in revenue while working part-time. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Today's topic is going to be drop shipping. We're going to be talking about how you can drop ship parts to the federal government. Before we get into the video though, if you find this content informative or if you want to join us along our journey to 10,000 subscribers, click that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. Any feedback is always appreciated. Let's talk about how to drop ship. So, we already have established that we're selling products to the federal government, right? But one of the most common questions that people ask me is, do I need to buy the products myself? Do I need to have the material come to me? What if I'm a home business? What if I work out of an apartment? Fear not, that's why you're watching this video, because I'm gonna give you the sauce. Keep watching. You can drop ship items, however, there are some criteria that have to be met by all parties involved for you to successfully be able to bid on a contract and then get the material shipped to the government, and then you get paid for it without ever looking at it. There are some boxes that have to be checked, if you will. The first of which being, you gotta find a company that's willing to do your packaging. And there's one main caveat that I see with this. The company has to have a cage code. They have to have a commercial and government entity code and be registered with at least SAM.gov, like at least with the federal government. And we're gonna talk about why in a little later, but that is typically the biggest hurdle that people come across when they're trying to find companies to drop ship on their behalf, is the company has to have a cage code. And then number 2, they have to be willing to do your commercial packaging. And when I say willing to do your commercial / mill standard packaging, what I mean by that is they have to be willing to follow all of the government requirements down to a T, because even though you can still ship the item and possibly even still get paid for it, if your shipping isn't where it needs to be, if it's not on par, then you are going to get dinged on your SPURS score. So your SPURS score is pretty much like a report card based on your performance or your interactions with the government. You get graded on a couple different factors. SPURS score stands for Supplier Performance Risk System Score, and a bunch of things get taken into consideration, like how on time you deliver the material, how well you package the material, do you give them exactly what they're asking for, do you give them the quantity that they're asking for, is the material damaged, etc., etc. All these different things play into your SPURS score. So you've got to find a company that's going to be willing to do all the packaging to a T so your SPURS score doesn't get knocked, because at the end of the day, that company is going to get paid regardless whether or not you get paid by the government. And that should always be the case if you're doing business ethically, I might add. Step number 1 is complete, right? We found a company willing to do our packaging, they have a cage code, and they're willing to do our commercial and mill standard packaging. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to get our pricing and availability on some products. And I actually came across something, and I'm not going to mention the exact specific market just because I don't want to saturate my client's market, but I'm not super big on the medical industry, but the cleaning industry, and I can't say exactly what kind of cleaning, but like think very high level cleaning, like you need tools to do this, not janitorial. Janitorial is kind of saturated, but cleaning supplies, it was freaking insane, bro. We were looking at contracts that were like 110 bags. The last time the government bought the stuff for was like 140 bags, and that 110 number that we got on the internet, it was literally just from, or the quote that we got from 110 bags for these cleaning supplies, literally was just on the internet. When I say 110 bags, that's like Gen Z slang. $110,000. A rack or a bag is $1,000 in my slang. Yeah, the government last purchased this stuff for, I believe it was 150, 140. So he was going to make 30 to 40 bags net profit on that one contract, right? So let's just use that example. Hypothetically, we've gotten our pricing and availability on the product, and then we want to get a quote from the company that's going to do our shipping on the cost of the packaging, and then we want to include this into our bid. So we want to mark up our bid to reflect the increased cost in the drop shipping, okay? Number 4, this is like the most important part. This is going to be like the technical stuff, the paperwork stuff, because there's a very, very specific way with which you have to denote that the material is going to be drop shipped to the government, or the government doesn't know that it's going to be dropshipped, but you have to formulate your bid submission in a way that reflects that it's going to be dropshipped. But before we get into number 4, when we talk about the technical stuff, let's take a quick moment to include a brief word from our sponsor, Lucy. Lucy is the all-in-one government contracting CRM. If you are looking for something that's significantly more affordable than a lot of the other softwares that I've talked about in the past, check out Lucy. If you sign up with them, then you will actually be able to get, I want to say it's a 1-week free trial. And then you also be able to get in touch with Michael, who is the lead developer of Lucy, and he's going to take care of all your questions, answer anything that you may need. And yeah, he's going to take care of you, and it literally tracks your entire pipeline from the time that you submit a RFQ, request for quote, on a product all the way until the time where you ship it and get paid for it. It tracks your entire sales pipeline specifically for government contracting. I'm going to include like a brief little demo about it here.
Introducing Lucy, the best all-in-one software for DLA suppliers and contractors. Let's check out some of the top features. In the market research section, search and find RFQs with various search parameters including estimated contract price, FSC codes, tech docs, ISO JCP flags, and much more. Click on NSN to open the NSN dialog for quick access to NSN history, approved sources, and more. Click on approved source cage code to view company details. And finally, add as many filters as you like and save your searches for quick access. You can save as many searches as you like with different search parameters. Once ready to bid, simply do one-click copy RFQ to your CRM bidding board. Now let's check out CRM and bid management features. Bidding Workspace will help you stay organized, track your bids, and speed up the bidding process. Now let's look at the solicitation we just copied over in detailed view. System recognized the associated suppliers for a given NSN product and automatically placed them in the supplier quotes table, so we can go through and request quotes from all the relevant suppliers for a given NSN product. Once the supplier is chosen, simply select it in the product details section. Notice most of the information will be pre-filled in from the contract. Then go to the service details section to enter all other costs including shipping price and any associated labor costs. System will do all the calculations and show us the summary of our bid price, margin, and the profit at the top. We can also attach any relevant documents in the files section and take notes to track the progress of the specific contract. Once ready, simply place your bid in Dibs and change the status to bid placed in Lucy and move on to the next one.
All right, cool. Now that we're back, let's talk about the technical things that need to be done to submit your bid and let the government know that it's being dropshipped. So whenever it's FOB origin, meaning that the government is going to pay for the shipping, but they're going to be paying for the shipping from the origin, meaning you, or in this instance, the company that's shipping, they need to know the city and state that the material is coming from, so that way when they upload it into VSM, which is the vendor shipment module, they can create the proper labels and all that good stuff. So for FOB origin, you're going to have to put the shipping company, city, and state. And the cool thing about dropshipping is you can actually also do this with inspection origin stuff as well. So you guys know the difference between FOB origin and FOB destination. FOB just refers to who's paying for the shipping. If it's origin, the government's paying for the shipping. If it's destination, you are paying for the shipping. Now, in terms of our inspections, though, which get conducted by DCMA, for inspection origin, you actually can also have the company that's going to be doing your drop shipping on your behalf get the inspection done. Now, there's a couple caveats here. If there's any ISO requirements or anything like that, you're going to want to make sure that the company that's doing your drop shipping handles all that. If there's any first article tests that need to get done, you're going to want to make sure the shipping company is going to be in compliance with all that good stuff. If there's any lot testing reports or sampling reports that are required in the solicitation, you're going to want to purchase those from your vendor and give those to your packaging company to make sure that they're getting all that good stuff taken care of for you. And you also need to get approval from the company that's going to do your packaging on whether or not they're willing to have an inspection conducted at their facility. That's done by DCMA, and they need to have their own quality assurance processes in place. Now, if you guys have questions about anything that I just mentioned, click the link down below to book a call. We give you guys at Namyad, which is my company, consulting company. We've worked with over 150 different government contracting firms in under 3 years. We give you guys a bunch of checklists and stuff to be in compliance with your quality assurance requirements. And it is derived from everything that I did to help take Two Lines Aerospace from 0 to 8 figures in revenue in under 3 years. So everything that we use there, everything that we use to train our employees, everybody that I used to train my replacements once I left, we include all that stuff for you guys. So all the quality assurance, all the packaging stuff, all the market research, we take care of that for you guys. We give you guys checklists and tell you exactly what to do verbatim. But back to step number 5. So for origin inspection, we want to be putting our cage code, like you, the company that's bidding on the product, as the supplier cage code because you are the one that's performing on the contract, and then you want to put the drop shipping or the packaging company's cage code as the packaging cage. So the government does allow us to drop ship because they give us two separate forms, two separate fields to fill out with different cage codes. But it is imperative that we make sure we put ourselves as the supplier cage to let the government know, hey, we're the ones performing on this contract, and then we put the cage code of the company that's going to be doing the drop shipping in the event that an inspection needs to be conducted at their facility. Step number 6. Once you win the contract, you're going to want to make sure that the material goes to your drop shipping company's address. Please, I see it all the time, do not let the material come to your place when you have no intentions of packaging it. I have made that mistake before. I've literally done everything that there is to do in this game in terms of working in the business, not so much on the business. I still have a lot to learn about business development, but in terms of making my purchase orders and my sales orders and my invoices and my packing slips and all that good stuff, I've made every single mistake that you can imagine. And something was supposed to get drop shipped one time, and it was for some new surplus stuff, and the stuff ended up being, let's fix the camera, the stuff ended up being, it was like $17,000, and it was supposed to go to these people in Nevada, and it came to us in Florida, and it was my fault. So we had to pay out of pocket to get it shipped there from our vendor. So don't make that mistake, okay? And then number 7, once the material is at your company, your dropshipping company's place, you have 2 options for this. You can either log into VSM and then download as a PDF your VSM and your mill pack labels and your government packing slip and all that stuff, and then email it to them, or you can give the company your VSM password. And VSM is the vendor shipment module. That's where you go to generate your packing slips for the government and all your labelings, your labels for your packages and all that good stuff. So that is the 7-step process on how to drop ship products to the Defense Logistics Agency. The primary focus of this video was just to talk about like the logistics of everything and the criteria that have to be met. I know I kind of glossed over the part where it's like, hey, this is what you need to do to win the contract and then get the pricing and availability. Go check out the GovCon tutorials playlist on my channel if you want more information on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Not only am I looking forward to your success, I'm absolutely sure of it. Let's go print those dollars.